Hey everyone, welcome back to Inherited Recipes. I inherited all of these recipes from my grandma and now I'm baking my way through her collection. Today I thought it would be cool to show you how you can make your own butter and also buttermilk, and you can literally do that from just some heavy whipping cream. So this isn't a recipe I inherited from my grandma, but it's a really fun, easy way to make some new stuff out of it. It's pretty cool. So the buttermilk you can use in my grandma's buttermilk honey bread recipe, and the homemade butter is just a really cool thing you can make. So I'm going to show you how to do it right now. For this recipe, you are going to want a KitchenAid mixer and then some heavy whipping cream, and then you also are going to want some ice water. This is ice water with my reusable ice cubes in it. I got those on Hobby Lobby. I'll try and find some in link, but yep, this is all you need at first, and so let's get started. The other thing you might need is like a splash guard or like a rag. I know KitchenAid makes those little like attachments to put on. I don't have one of those, so I'm just gonna make it work with some aluminum foil and try and like makeshift my own little splash guard situation. So I'm literally just gonna take my heavy whipping cream and dump it into my KitchenAid. I heard that it's a little helpful if you like let your heavy whipping cream sit out for, I don't know, like 30 minutes just so it's not cold. I think it just helps the process of the butter to separate with the buttermilk. So I'm gonna open this up. This is 1 pint. I don't know that kind of math off the top of my head, so maybe I'll look it up and then figure out how many cups this is. I think these are 2 cups, but you know, hard to say. Math wasn't my strong suit. Okay, you're gonna dump it all in and then make sure it all gets out. And then we're literally gonna start mixing. The first thing that's gonna happen is it's gonna look like we're making whipped cream, and you definitely could make whipped cream from just heavy whipping cream, but if you mix it a little longer, that's when the butter starts to separate, like the butter fat starts to separate from the liquid. So I'm gonna turn it on slowly, and let's see how this goes. I don't think I need my splash guard until it gets until the butter starts to separate. So fingers crossed I don't mess up my whole kitchen. And I did just put it on 10, the highest setting, so let's watch it mix. Okay, I'm gonna pause it really quick and just kind of show you. This is definitely whipped cream consistency. If you want whipped cream, pause here. Boom, you made it. But if you want to keep making butter, you're gonna want to whip it even more. So here we go. It's definitely starting to look a little more buttery, but I'm just gonna take my spatula and push the stuff down from the sides because we don't want anything left behind. Scrape it down real quick. Okay, and begin. I'll just show you real quick. You can see it's definitely starting to look like butter. Just keep mixing. The milk, you can actually see the milk is starting to kind of settle at the bottom. That's a good sign. So we want to just keep mixing for a little longer and see how much more milk we want. You want to get all of the liquid out of the butter part of it. That way it'll last longer in your fridge or on the counter. So we're gonna keep mixing. This is where you really want a splash guard because the milk is wanting to fly everywhere. I'm gonna scrape down the sides again. butter. Okay. The next thing, wow, I'm really glad I have my splatter guard. Getting everywhere. Okay, so the next thing to do is you want to kind of push all of this stuff out. Get all the butter out. Out of the whisk part of it. And you want to kind of form it into its own little ball. And don't throw away that buttermilk, because that is what you can use in the buttermilk honey bread recipe that I have. I'll link that below, but I'm gonna get a container to put all of that good stuff in. Sure to get like all those little butter chunks and push it kind of into the butter ball situation that we have right now. I have my container. Get it all in there. And then I'm gonna take my nice little jar. Oh, got a chunk. Okay, there is a chunk in there. I'm going to try and fish it out. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's all the main chunks. It's probably okay if there's like a little bit, but... lid on it, and that made about a good 8 ounces of buttermilk from 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. So now you see the butter is all by itself in there, and when you squish it, liquid comes out of it, and so you don't want all that liquid in there. There's actually a little more buttermilk. So the trick to getting the rest of the buttermilk out, this is where your ice water comes in. So you want to take your ice water, not the ice cubes, just the ice water, and pour it in. And this gives the butter a nice little rinse and will help the rest of the buttermilk just kind of separate. I should not have crumpled up my splash guard because I'm definitely going to need it. So, and then we're gonna whisk it in the KitchenAid a little more. Except I don't want this to go everywhere. So definitely spilled water everywhere, but that's okay. It's for the butter. So do you see how the water is a little bit more cloudy? It was getting out all of the last little bit of buttermilk that was in there. So I'm taking a good old towel. Okay. Wow, and now we have some butter. So I'm gonna put it in a little dish. I might use a paper towel and try and like pat it dry. Just the last little bit off. The cool thing about making your own butter is you can add salt to it. You can eat it plain like this. You can add like some herbs to it. I was thinking about maybe making like adding a little bit of honey to it and making some honey butter, which would be really good. But once you get it all in there, and then make sure you get the remnants out of the KitchenAid too. I'm gonna fish out these last little guys. Take a paper towel and kind of blot any excess water. There's definitely a little bit at the bottom, but that is okay. And see a little bit extra. I'm just gonna dump that out. Then you can just move it to a nice airtight container once you've gotten most of the water out. And then you have homemade butter. Super easy. Wow, there you have it. Nice homemade butter. I'll probably add a little bit of salt to mine. And maybe some honey. We'll see. But also check out the other recipe where we can use this buttermilk and make buttermilk honey bread.